Hey everybody, it's your old pal Zach Nanimus. I wanted to make a video that would serve as a little bit of a tribute to Stan Lee, since we all know by now that he's passed. Um, but I found myself wanting to say a lot of things, and I wanted to say them eloquently, and I just don't have the time to rehearse it and say it all, very well on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to read to you a small essay that I've prepared. And while I do so, please enjoy some pictures of Stan Lee and his characters. I think it's very natural for people to look at Stan Lee's passing as sad. It's hard to think of a world nearly obsessed with Marvel movies going on without a personality like him. In his columns, videos, and even editorial comments in the pages of Marvel Comics, Stan has felt less like a celebrity and more like a friend. Not always humble, but very much giving, Stan made an effort to come out to a litany of comic book and sci-fi conventions over the years, where he gave normal, unassuming people the opportunity to meet him with a smile, a handshake, and a lot of laughs, creating a legacy as a personality and as a prolific writer. Stan changed the way that comics were done in his era. The 1960s were a time where watchdog groups like the Comics Code Authority were pushing for benign stories that never challenged readers, but Stan gambled his career to bring us stories about superheroes facing real-life challenges. At a time while others were writing about crime-fighting millionaires and gods from other planets, Stan was working on a story about Spider-Man, an underprivileged teen from Queens, trying to make a difference with what little he had. This smash hit would cause Marvel to allow him to create other sensational characters and lay the groundwork for what we know to be the Marvel Universe today. Eventually, we would all learn that Stan did not actually own any of the characters that he created. And while he was involved in productions such as Spider-Man the Animated Series, he rarely was at the helm. And yet, in 2002, when movie-making technology had finally caught up to Stan's imagination, well, kind of caught up, Stan agreed to be in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Perhaps just wanted to be part of Spider-Man's world again, or he may have just wanted a chance to show off, as he himself claimed he loved to do. This started a tradition of Stan appearing in most movies based on Marvel Comics. Regardless of vision or studio politics, Stan showed up time and time again to delight fans with one-liners and stand next to living monuments to the world of characters that he created, including Iron Man, Thor, the X-Men, and the Incredible Hulk. What is shocking about all this to me is the people who have come out of the woodwork in an attempt to defame Stan at a time when they know their voice will be heard, shouting claims that we true believers know to be false. These claims against him have yet to be proven, and I refuse to recognize the court of public opinion. Stan was a champion of all people, no matter race or gender or nationality. Along with the great Jack Kirby, he created the most popular and influential black superhero ever known, the Black Panther. Skim the pages of the first issue of X-Men and you will see the powerful Jean Grey knocking Beast down a peg for inappropriate advances on her. His enlightened ideas towards the fair treatment of others and the equality of all people is evident in his characters, his interviews, and his actions. To say otherwise is just bogus. But if you were to ask me if I was saddened by his passing, I think I would have to say no. Death is inevitable, and I think it's important to realize that this man lived a good, long life, surrounded by a loving family, adoring fans, and enjoying accomplishments in his field that we may never see surpassed or even rivaled again. So, rather than saying goodbye, I think I would just rather say, well done, Mr. Lee. Well done.